Dear Diary, today I thought about being at home full time. I thought about baking stuff, and I also thought about nothing. I am in awe of how my brain often thinks of this life. Hey Royal Family, welcome to the front row. Thank you so much for choosing to watch this video so far. And if you keep on watching, I have something amazing to share with you. This is a game changer. I say that in all my videos, but really, this has helped me so much. What am I talking about? I'm talking about writing. Writing is such a therapeutic method of communication. It has helped me tremendously, and I'm sure it has helped so many other people. Writing can be a form of awakening and healing. So keep on watching because I'm talking about why writing is so important and what I have done to get on the writing. Writing is a form of venting. I hate her. I hate him. She is annoying. He is annoying. Work is really stressful. I can't believe they do these things. What the hell is going on? How can she say that she was supposed to be my best friend? How can she just disown me like that? How can she be stealing my friends? What do you think they're thinking next door? Writing can really get all the pollution out, the bad thoughts, and it can also just be a form of psychology, I guess, where you can really just put your thoughts out there and nobody will need to know what you're saying, but you're just getting it off your chest. Women in particular are venting machines. We often want to let it out, say as much as we want on our day. So we come home and we lash the whole thing out. We often tire our partners because men in general don't really want to vent and they don't care about that stuff and they internalize things. So it starts becoming a little bit frustrating, and it's also polluting other people's minds with the stuff that's going on in your mind. So I prefer to just rather put it down on paper and then I get it off my chest, and all those question marks that I have, I write it down, and even if they never get answered, because they never do when you're venting, I find that my imagination has gotten so much better with me writing. I used to physically write with a pen and a page, and I used to have like a diary when I was younger, but now I just type things out, whatever's in my thoughts. Sometimes it's poetry, sometimes it's short stories, sometimes it's what I'm going through currently. So that really does help me just take out the thoughts that are in my head onto a platform that I can read at a later stage. And then also I find that especially when I'm writing some fictional things, then I get quite creative with what I'm saying. And it does help me a lot because I am now the storyteller for my little one. That sometimes can be a helper because it's amazing how my imagination can make a potato talk and be a giant size vegetable on the street while taking him to the park. And it's crazy, but it works and it entertains him. So, I mean, why not? Other than that, why I find writing so therapeutic for me is also because when I write it down, I also remember a lot of things. So, for example, if I have a to-do list, then with the to-do list, more often than not, I try and write it down physically in my diary because that just the act of writing will just make it remain in my brain and I don't forget that what I need to do for the day. So that helps me tremendously because it's almost like when you write something down, it's bound to come true. It's like writing your vision board or writing your goals for the year. When you write it down, you commit it to memory better, and also you're able to go back and read what you wrote and edit and things like that. So it's very beneficial to write. It's like a stamp to say it's there and it's never going away because I wrote it down. Some of the things that I want to try or have tried in the past has really helped me be a better human and just feel more fulfilled and more whole. And the one thing that I did was write letters to people that either annoyed me, loved me, irritated me, or hurt me. And it's just letters that never get delivered to people. So I remember when I just got married, I was so annoyed by the little things that my husband was doing, which now when I think about it is so ridiculous, but at the time it seemed like such a big thing. So I wrote all the points on my letter of all the things that aggravated me and all the things that I just wasn't happy about, and it was quite a long list. And then I wrote it to him, and then I tore it up and I threw it away in the bin. But that feeling was just so gratifying. It lifted a weight off my shoulders, and even though I didn't say it to him, it didn't matter because I got it off my chest, and it just made me feel better. So with that act, I decided to do things with other people. So I used to work in some hectic environments, and I wrote a letter to my ex-boss asking her why she had been so difficult with me, why she was so racist, why she showed so much hatred towards me, and even though she could not falter me in my job, like what was the reason? And all those questions and burning desires that I wanted answers for got me into tears. But when I completed that letter and then I tore it up, it made me feel so whole. It made me feel at peace. And she may never be able to answer that question to me, but I felt like I got closure from that. And then I wrote a letter to some of my friends and asked them why they did certain things to me to hurt me. And that was really, really beneficial to me. So it was my form of therapy, because I mean, it's kind of the same thing when you go to a therapist and you're talking about your problems. But in this act of tearing it up and throwing it away, or if you want to burn it up, then it's an act of saying, I'm putting down these thoughts and I'm destroying it, and I do not want it to enter my mind ever again. And I didn't think it would be possible. I didn't think it would actually happen, but the truth of the matter is, it is extremely healing, or it was extremely healing for me. And I recommend it, especially if you are someone that has been hurt or is extremely angry with someone, or if you're someone that can't find it in you to forgive someone. This may be an act, because you may not be able to get it from the particular person in question, but you can find a way to heal and become whole and feel more at peace. As I said a little bit earlier, is the stories. I like to write stories. I write stories about my life in a fictional way. I write stories for kids, and it's just little poems also that help me. Like, maybe one day I'll get published, I don't know, but for now I just use my words to entertain myself, to heal me, to just find another avenue of spending my time. And it really is fun to do. I started a concept called Dear Diary some years ago, and then I continued that for a little while on a personal platform. And I liked doing it because I really enjoyed talking about what was going to happen in the day, or what I had planned in the day, or what I learned in the day. And it just made such a big difference that I decided to continue that this year as well. And although I don't have time to write every single day, the times that I do just before bed or just before I get home from work, so I write down my thoughts or what has transpired that day. And I find that to be healing as well, because sometimes when you're going through daily things, you forget it after a few weeks. And this way you can go back and read what you thought about, and then 3 days later, how you've healed from that, and you're talking about something completely different, and you've completely forgot about what actually happened on that day. So it's quite nice to see that the human nature will kick in. Conversational Articles is something that I started very, very recently. It is argumentative topics, topical things that you can talk to with your colleagues. I do a lot of that on LinkedIn, so it helps me to segment what my thoughts are, especially on leadership and management and business management, and how business environments can be better. And I find, like, through my experiences and having worked with different companies and different brands, I find that I've learned so much from those experiences that I feel like I must share it. And also, there is such a fine line between being really confident and then also like egotistical. So I talk about that a lot. And I find those articles are also therapeutic in that way, because work can be so stressful, and it allows me to share lessons to people who aspire to be leaders, or to people who aspire to work on a company culture that is just beneficial to everybody that works with them or for them. So that form of writing for me is like a give back in some way. I think what I want to do going forward, a good idea might be to write a letter to my future self, and then write a letter to my past self, and then like bury it and then read it a good few years from now and see what my thought process is. So I was thinking about that. If you're someone that wants to do that too, let me know if you have done it or it's something that excites you to do. I think it's quite nice to be able to write to your younger self and say like, look, you can just chill out, Ro, like life is actually going to be okay. Or ask your future self some questions that you don't know will actually happen, and then see what happens in 5 years or whatever the case is. I think that will be absolutely exciting to do. So that's what I think I'm going to do this year, hopefully, if I have some time. But apart from that, I just wanted to share this with you because I found that writing is extremely wonderful. It is such a gift to us, and we can find a way to write down even affirmations. When you wake up in the morning and you've taken a shower and you've done some exercise and you've done some meditation, and just writing down some affirmations, if you can write 5 lines, and that is so beneficial, and it's so important for you to do, to let go of the things that are going on in your mind, and clears you up, and it makes you a little bit whole again. It's a win-win situation. I know that not everybody is interested in writing, so that's why I wanted to discuss the different forms and ways I get some writing in, and hopefully one of them would stick with you, and that's something you could do, because I absolutely recommend it, especially if you are seeking to heal yourself. And you know, in 2021 we don't have the luxury, and also a lot of Black cultures, Indian or Black, we don't believe too much in the therapy situation. And if you're not so much of a spiritual person, then I suppose this would be your gateway to get things out of your chest and heal from that. So thank you for watching The Front Row with myself, Roanna Moodley. I do appreciate you, and I love you for subscribing to my channel, those of you that have. And if you haven't subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. Talk to me on my channel. I would love to hear from you, and I guess I will see you on the next video. Keep it royal.